Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303. Introducing one co-host with more nuggets than Chick-fil-A, Nick Morahan. Executive producer until we find someone better, Eric Washington. Nobody really knows what he does around here, Nevada Putnam. And now, the single greatest thing to happen to hosting in history, Jermaine Antonio Colon Mendez. On with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Podcast Room 303, episode 222. This sounds like a fictitious number. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This is my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. And as always, we have with us, how are you doing this evening, Nick?
Yeah, so like any good God-fearing man in the United States, I judge my seasons based off what beer is out right now. So I had someone, what's the best way to say this? I have someone 2 degrees of separation away from me, so not a friend and not a relative of a friend, who said that IPAs are out. Completely agree. I've been out on IPAs for a while, and that it's winter beer season.
What the fuck? Like Oktoberfest?
No, winter beer. Like it's time for to start drinking winter beers. And I said, I go by the clock of the good Samuel Adams. And until Samuel Adams switches over to his winter lager, I don't switch over to winter beer. And right now, Mr. Sam Adams is featuring Oktoberfest in all the bars.
Yeah, what is a winter beer?
I don't know,
what kind of...
Like a frosty beer. That's good.
First of all beer should be frosty.
Like a good frosty beer. No, that's not true. Because remember the beer hierarchy, right? Beer is best when it's cold, right?
Yeah.
But beer is also best when it's free. Free is right below cold. And then there's any other beer.
Okay, yeah, but number 1 is frosty.
Right. But you said all beer has to be frosty. I wouldn't.
Yeah, it has to be frosty. If you're willingly handing out warm beer, you also go home to cold pussy.
What is winter beer? A modern winter beer emphasizes dark malts, has 5 to 8% ABV by volume. ABV. This Google search says, and I'll read it. I just read it. A typical modern winter beer emphasizes dark malts, has 5% to 8% ABV alcohol by volume, parentheses, ABV, close parentheses. Did they just told me it has alcohol by volume, parentheses, alcohol by volume?
They wanted you to understand that beer is measured in alcohol by volume. There's a ringer.
Oh, geez.
I'm so popular.
Shut it off. It's popular. It's just a sport notification. We all know it's just a sports notification.
No, it's a text message.
Oh shit! From who?
I'm in trade talks right now.
Read it live on the air.
Yeah, I might do something like that.
I thought that was you agreeing.
No, that's why I read it, dude. It didn't say anything. A no context live read, dude.
That's so funny.
Today's episode, we'll be getting into pop culture pick'em as is customary to lead off the week. Top 5 role-playing video games today. We'll get into head-to-head review. Newsflash. Follow the podcast motto, #FadeUs, and you'll make a fuck ton of money. The very next thing we'll get into is the What the Fuck headline. We got a real doozy for you this week. Comes from the realm of soccer. And then we'll give you a little update on the MLB playoff race. We'll do our takeaways from week 5 of the NFL football season, and we'll get into the week 6 betting slate. Without further ado, without Freddie ado.
Shout out.
Let's get into I should probably share the screen. Let's get into the pop culture pick. Let me share this screen.
Wait, were you being serious the other day when you said when I was bagging Landon Donovan and you said American hero Landon Donovan?
Absolutely, dude.
You believe that?
You know how many times I cheered for him in the World Cup? Yes, bro. Everyone in America is not American. If that's like your argument against him, get bent, dude.
Dude, he bagged the American World Cup because he wasn't good enough to be on it. So he was like, fuck the American World Cup.
That's not true. He was good enough to be on it.
No, he wasn't.
The team they took was trash. We didn't have any strikers. You mean to tell me we couldn't take Landon Donovan as the 24th man?
I don't want him.
Oh, see, that's a different sentence. You said he wasn't good enough. You said he wasn't good enough.
He wasn't good enough. He refused to come on as a sub. He refused to play sub.
Yeah, I mean that he was in his Allen Iverson year. First pick, top 5 role-playing video games. I mean, this is just too massive a question. You know, It's just too massive. I'm gonna just go with my personal Final Fantasy favorite. I'll take Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, I didn't pick. I've never played a Final Fantasy game.
Really, any of them?
Yeah. Never.
Okay.
It never interested me.
Why? You just don't like role-playing games?
I like role-playing games a lot. Man. I will go my favorite role-playing game of all time, Fallout 3 for my first pick.
All right. That's a good choice. Who knew you would be a Bethesda boy?
I do like Bethesda. I also do like the fact that I played when Fallout 3 came out. I had just gotten back from a tour of DC with my grandpa. So I was like super jazzed about it. I was like, I was just there. So that like gave the game an extra like,
oh my God, I'm in the nation's capital right now. It's a wasteland.
Right. Do I have to I have to pick specific games?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't just can't pick a series.
Mass Effect 2.
All right, Mass Effect 2. But yeah, if you love the Mass Effect series, you can bloviate about it. But on the list,
Mass Effect 3. I mean, when you have to release, I normally don't think that gamers are in the right when they demand these updates. I think they were 100% in the right demanding that Mass Effect 3 be changed.
They did kind of strike out on Mass Effect 3.
It was like the ending of the Game of Thrones series. Like, you've put so much work into 1, 2, and most of 3 that you're just going to end it the way you did.
Yeah. I mean, I like the ending to Game of Thrones, though.
Okay. Well,
I'm in the minority, though. And I will agree, it could have absolutely been better, for sure.
I was talking about the writing.
Yeah,
The writing of the last season of Game of Thrones was not good. The writing of Mass Effect 3 at the end was not good.
It could have been better, but no one getting a happy ending was fire.
Except for Bran somehow.
Oh, yeah, the cripple who can never have sex and has to know everything. It really had a real happy ending.
Good.
Because every king or queen ever on the Iron Throne has had a real good life.
Yeah.
All right, Mass Effect 2. Man, there's a lot of good options here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll take Skyrim. I was going to take Morrowind, but I'll take Skyrim. Skyrim as my number 2 choice. I mean, it goes without saying it's the best Bethesda game. Don't let Nick get it twisted with his first choice. He just got overwhelmed by the nostalgia of having just been in the city.
So I got to say this, right? Starfield will get better. And Starfield might be the best Bethesda game.
It has the potential to be. It's amazing.
It needs to hold up. What you know what I love about it is I wanted futuristic guns from Fallout 3, and I wanted to be able to kill things from old No Man's Sky.
Win.
It's like they took Old Man's Sky. It's like they took No Man's Sky, and they were like, "What if we gave you an assault rifle?"
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll take the one that you said you've never played before, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It is one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. But I'm also a big Star Wars dork, so maybe I am a little biased. I will say,
what's the MMORPG one of that? I played a lot of that.
I thought Knights of the Old Republic was that.
No, I thought it was like, I don't know.
Let's see.
Oh, maybe it was.
MMO is massive
online, massive multiplayer online RPG.
Yeah, this is it. Massively multiplayer online role playing.
Massively?
Yeah, I don't know if that's correct or not. Oh, well, that's the Wikipedia entry. It says massively multiplayer online role playing. I think that LY is out of place though.
Yeah, I don't remember playing it.
It's really awesome, and the Nintendo Switch, my favorite next-gen console, is currently putting together all the old school. So they're bringing the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game, which was Jango Fett, Pod Racing, Star Wars Jedi Academy 1 and 2, Knights of the Old Republic, I believe it's 1 and 2, and Star Wars Force Unleashed, and they're putting them into one game that you can buy for your Switch.
Damn.
For the price of one, I was like, yeah, your boy might be into that.
That's pretty good.
That's a good deal. But yeah,
I'll go with 3 and 4. I'll go Fable 2.
Oh man, I thought I was gonna be able to get Fable.
No. And I'll go Dragon Age Inquisition.
Inquisition, huh?
I thought Inquisition was better than Origins.
They're both very good.
Right.
So that's both solid choices. I'm still waiting for the next gen Fable. They teased it when they were talking about the launch of the new Xbox, and we still haven't gotten a single update on it.
Fable is like the grandpa of these like open world choice games, though. Well before its time.
Oh, dude. So Fable doesn't get enough love because of how your actions affected your character. Like when you started having the horns grow out of your head.
Dude, one of the things that I didn't like about Fable, or one of the things that like put me off about, or put a lot of people off about Fable, I think, is the follow-ons just were not good. Like Fable 1 was good, Fable 2 was good, but then they were just terrible after that.
Oh yeah, it's like Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed has had so many misses. But when they hit, bro. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I had a blast playing that one.
The Greek one was dope. I spent a lot of time on Odysseus.
Odyssey. I didn't play that one. I didn't play the Egypt one either, but I heard that one's fire.
They're all the same. Those you can play one
those
of those
three. Yeah.
Pick which culture you like. Do you like Egyptians? Do you like the Greeks? Do you like the
Norse?
Yeah.
I had a blast with the Norse. I was running around with Excalibur and Mjolnir, dual wield. I was just like, that's hard, bro. I'm like smacking it with Excalibur and Mjolnir, bro. Yeah, it was totally worth it.
Fable first came out in 2004.
Yeah, dude, it was on the original Xbox.
That's insane.
It was the original Xbox that had that boot up screen, that classic boot up screen.
Right.
I wish they would bring that sound back when my Xbox booted on. that was so tight. The very next game for me here, I'm going to round it out with 2. I'm going to take Pokemon, and I'll do Pokemon Blue.
Damn it.
And then I'll take...
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I had so many different choices I could have went. I love that I took yours, you bum.
Oh.
And I'll take The Legend of Dragoon.
I don't know that I ever played that game.
A lot of people have not, but it has such a cult following. They had this addition system, right? And it was like lining up. You had to time your attack just right. So it was still turn-based, like a classic Final Fantasy VII style or a Final Fantasy VIII style, but they had the addition system, and you would equip a certain move to your character, and you had to master that addition to get it to its most powerful. And so you had to nail it like 1,000 times for each addition. And the way it was is like it would be like a square would start on one screen, and then as the square moves across the screen, you just see it kind of multiple squares, and then it lines up and you have to time it just right. And then as the additions get more difficult, it'll be multiple different button presses. And if you nail it, your character would hit for max damage and just be nailing mofos, bro. But if you missed it, it was always like, you're like playing golf. It's like when you hit a great shot and then you follow it up with a real bad shot.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
I'm aware.
Yeah, dude. Now imagine that, but it was an RPG game and the monsters were hitting you with elemental damage and just smacking you up.
Yeah. I don't think there is I think I should create a YouTube channel called I just hit a 300-yard drive. Now what?
How do I get it in the hole from here?
What you need to do is you need to hit it past the hole, back to the front of the green, chip up, 3-putt. That's a triple bogey. I don't remember what this game is called, so hopefully you can help me. It was is that right, Kane? It was a Fire Emblem game on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
And it was like Fire Emblem.
The Blazing Blade?
Maybe. That doesn't sound right, though.
Let's see. Fire Emblem. Well, I put Game Boy Advance. It said The Blazing Blade. Or also simply known as Fire Emblem.
Okay. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, it looks like that's the one, dude.
I think that's it.
A lot of people just affectionately refer to it as Fire Emblem.
I think it was just Fire Emblem. Yeah. Okay. Fire Emblem, but with the Game Boy Advance. That was a good game.
Yeah, I could pull up a synopsis if you want me to. Maybe it'll sound familiar.
Okay, let's get it.
The events of Fire Emblem take place on the fictional continent of Elib, 20 years before the events of Fire Emblem: The Binding Blade. In ancient times, dragons lived in peace with humans, but were banished in a devastating war, the Scouring. Throughout the game, the player travels through the countries of Sakai, a land of nomads and tribes, Lycia, an alliance of Marquiates, including Foray and Ostia, and Bern, a militaristic kingdom ruled by a single ruler. The player assumes the role of a tactician discovered by Lynn, a Sacian girl whose tribe and parents were killed by bandits. Is that
Yep. Okay. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. Let me look up some little fire, some little screenshots here. Oh yeah, that's it. That's at that game. Yep. Fire Emblem Binding Blade.
Wait, the Binding Blade or the Blazing Blade? Because those are two different ones. What the Blazing?
It's the Blazing one.
Okay, the Blazing one is 20 years after the Binding one.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna put Fire Emblem, the Blazing Blade. Do you have any honorable mentions?
Fire Emblem, the Blade one.
The Binding Blaze. The Blazing Bind.
The Blading Blade. No, I had to scrap together that list. You stole Pokemon Blue from me, so
nailed it. So let's see some of the ones: Jade Cocoon, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. Man, what else?
I didn't play a lot of those Final Fantasy-esque RPGs.
Yeah, that's where so those are typically referred to as JRPGs, and that was really my jam growing up.
Well, I mean, we can always say, there's the Fallout series. So New Vegas, there's Mass Effect 1.
The Witcher.
Yep, The Witcher's on there. Yep.
Diablo. Although Diablo 4, what a just disappointing excursion that was. I mean, you have Baldur's Gate, EverQuest.
Oh, Diablo, you said that. Yep.
Yeah, Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Hunter is very, very confusing at first.
Paper Mario.
Paper Mario.
Paper Mario. Dude, did I tell you they're remaking Paper Mario?
No.
For the Switch. My brother and I, we didn't own a Super Nintendo. but my uncle had it, and every time we went, we would try to play Paper Mario. We never beat it because it was so freaking hard, and we weren't leveled up enough when we got to a certain point. And so now when I sent it to him, we were both like, finally, revenge is mine.
Paper Mario, bro.
Paper Mario did me dirty, bro. It was disrespectful what it did. if I'm being honest.
That's so funny.
All right. So that wraps up Pop Culture Pick'em. The lists are as follow. I had the first pick, Final Fantasy VIII, Skyrim, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Pokemon Blue, The Legend of Dragoon. Nick had the next pick, obviously. He took Fallout 3, Mass Effect 2, Fable 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Fire Emblem, The Blazing Blade. It is very possible that we've done Pop Culture Pick'em before, but that's neither here nor there.
We have done Pop Culture Pick'em before. I think we do it every week.
No, that specific topic, though.
Oh, I'm sure. No, I don't know. I think we might have done top 5 video games, but
yeah, and we might have had some of those same choices on there.
That's all right.
But that's not role-playing games. I stopped sharing my screen, and I could have done head-to-head. Anyways, let's get into what the fuck headline. So, oh boy, today's submission is a real doozy. If you're joining us on YouTube, you can see the headline for yourself. I'll go ahead and read it here. Liga 1 match abandoned. Liga 1 match abandoned after goalkeeper hurt by fan-thrown firework. A French league game, Premier, the division, a game between Montpellier and Clermont was abandoned on Sunday after a firework thrown from the stands landed next to Clermont goalkeeper Mor Diaw, who fell to the ground and was later stretchered off, bro.
It's not that bad, was it?
I don't know. I'm about to find out. Montpellier was leading 4-2 in the first 6 minutes of injury time. Wait, they threw the firework in the first 6 minutes of injury time?
Right.
So he fell to the ground, receiving treatment before taking off. The match was permanently canceled. Wait, what? After Diaw fell, Clermont defender Neto Borges was shown Borges. That's not right. That sounds like a dog breed.
Borges
was shown a red
card. Dude. Neto Borges. Just really stick it to the fucking French.
I didn't even try, dude. I was just like,
dude,
Borges.
You phoned that dude's name in.
I didn't even try, dude. I said Montpellier earlier, and I just said Borges.
After DL fell, Clermont playing Montpellier, Neto Borges.
He was shown a red card after a video replay showed him making a gesture towards the Montpellier fans.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's it. That's the extent of. There is a bigger ad in this article than there is any information of substance. Let's see. Let's give a cursory glance to see if we can't find out.
Did they win the match?
That's what I'm gonna. So they didn't award a win yet.
They got to investigate. It was in Montpellier, right?
Yes. No, they were winning. So
it was in their stadium, right?
Let's see. Yeah, it was. Suspended due to incident. Let's see. Goalkeeper in France stretchered off a firecracker incident. The 30-year-old. How come it's not telling me if he's good or not?
I wonder what happened to him.
It's not for a lack of warning. Okay, 30-year-old stopper was surrounded.
He had to be stretchered off. Now, is this a case of soccer players just being babies?
I mean, I don't know where the firecracker hit him. It doesn't say if he's good. So they identified the supporter.
Okay.
Was in no fit state to end the encounter. Nope, doesn't say. Nope.
So he's not fit, huh?
Yeah, there's no update on if the guy's good. Hopefully he didn't lose a finger or a toe or anything crazy like that.
Or an eye, yeah.
You don't need those. You got 2.
That's true. That's a good point.
Also, pirates are cool.
It's a good point, Dr. Jermaine.
Pirates are in, dog. You know what I mean?
It's a good point, Dr. Jermaine.
All right, let's get into the head-to-head. Not that anyone really wants to get into it except for myself. For those of you listening, you know that we've been doing a weekly series, a head-to-head, and it's about as going as bad as you can think it is.
No, that's not true. That's not true. We're all positive now, aren't we?
No, and not after this week. You are the only one positive now, and you are positive by 0.7 units.
I mean, we're making the people a good amount of money.
That's absolutely fact, and that's what we're here for. We're here to make our listeners money. So, I was the only one who had a win this week. So, for those of you keeping track at home, that's 3-0-3 weeks from Nick, Nevada, and Eric. I submitted 3 more parlays because I'm in desperation dart throw state, and I went 2-1. Bringing my record to 44, 66, and 1 this year. I am tied for the most wins and have the best winning percentage thanks to that push. So I had 3 parlays. The loser was the MLB moneyline parlay for the opening day of the Division Series. I took Houston, Atlanta, Dodgers. That failed because Atlanta and the Dodgers do what they do best and lose in very important games, which is why I picked the Phillies to win the series. And
remember, before the Dodgers were blowing playoff series like it was their job, the Braves held that title in the 90s.
Bro, the 90s. What a tough time to be a Braves fan. I did win my college football parlay. It was an all moneyline parlay, moneyline favorites. I took USC, Colorado, Oregon State out of the Pac-12. I took Ohio State out of the Big Ten, and I took Georgia Bulldogs and the Florida Gators out of the Southeastern Conference. That hit for a plus 206, which shaved 2 units off my total. So then I lost that other one, so I was minus 133, which is 13 units for those of you keeping track at home. And but I did hit my anytime touchdown parlay, which was at plus 567. That was Tyreek Hill, David Montgomery, Jalen Hurts, and Christian McCaffrey. That netted me back to negative 7.3. So I just need to hit a few more of those, and I can have the unit total as well as the most bets selected correctly.
So speaking of CMC scored a touchdown on Sunday night in his 14th straight game, including the postseason. He's now 1 game away from tying the longest streak ever, which was done twice. Once by John Riggins in 1983.
Who?
John Riggins.
Yeah, who?
You might know this other name. O.J. Simpson did it in 1974 and 1975.
Oh, yeah, that dude was a killer.
Yeah, he's killing the touchdowns, that's for sure.
Why did that trip you up so heavy, dude?
I don't know, man. I was like, how do I was trying to figure out race relations. I don't know, man.
Race relations? Way to make it weird, dude.
Trying to go through, everything. A little bit more.
Nope. I'm not listening to you, dude. I can see the screen on like Eric's setup. Here we go, dude. So Nick is 42, 67, and 2. He is plus 0.7 units. He's the only one positive. He took
I took some crazy flyers this week.
You hit me with Porto money line, and I was like plus 437. I see where his head's at, but also like what? That's what I thought when I saw it come through.
How did that game end up?
Can you check that? It was already marked L. I didn't actually check the score of that game.
Oh, they lost. They lost 1-0 to Barcelona, and Barcelona had a red card.
Yeah, Barcelona was down. Conde, Lewandowski, Pedri. There was 2 other guys that I'm blanking on right now, but pretty much.
I definitely knew that before I made the pick for sure.
He said retroactively, he lost his college football moneyline parlay. He had UCF, Louisiana Lafayette, UCLA, and Missouri.
I don't even know if I was close.
I think Missouri lost to LSU, and they did have LSU on the ropes, but they they choked it away in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, but Kansas beat the fuck out of UCF.
Kansas beat the brakes off UCF. All right,
51-22.
Yeah, that wasn't even close, but that was also a plus 1,872 odds. He had an Atlanta, so this is a National Football League parlay. He took the Atlanta Falcons, the New Orleans Saints, class of the NFC South, and Tennessee Titans. And
heartbreaking.
And Tennessee blew it despite Anthony Richardson getting hurt in the second quarter and Jonathan Taylor only playing 15% of snaps. That was a plus 678, but it doesn't matter because you missed. Eric took 3 parlays as well. Everyone's starting to copy the swag of JC. They just can't pick winners. He had a college football one. He had Ohio State, Texas, LSU, and Mississippi State. Unfortunately, Texas did everything they just about could have done to lose that football game and sunk his parlay, which was a plus 118. Then he took a moneyline NFL parlay with Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, and Detroit Football Lions. The Buffalo Bills choked away the victory in London, as I said they would. Jacksonville State was there a week earlier. It's London games. Always bet with the dog, even though the Bills are the better football team. You play that in Jacksonville or Buffalo, I think Bills win that 10 out of 10 times. I don't like what I'm seeing from Jacksonville. He also had a double over NFL parlay. He had Kansas City, Minnesota over 53. I believe Nick said that had 47 total points, and then Dallas versus San Francisco over 45, which did hit, but unfortunately that's only 50% of the parlay. That's plus 267, loser. And Nevada with his patented my man's is always picking these kicker parlays. I just don't get it. He took not parlays, but McManus over 1.5 field goals at plus 105. That's not even worth it. He kicked a total of 0 field goals, so he wasn't even close. He also had a college football parlay. He had Illinois, Texas, Notre Dame, Oregon State. That was plus 302. That missed. And he took the Jets and Texans money line in the NFL for plus 330. The Jets held up their end of the bargain, but Houston has finished its darling run with a big fat L. So I feel good this week.
Still the only one positive. That's all that matters. I started out the week really well. Picked Matt Olson over 1.5 total bases. He had 1. I'm thinking, didn't I cook something up for this weekend? I think I said something. I cooked up 2. I mean, we'll get into it in Nick's Nuggets, but I cooked up a couple of spreads.
Tennessee plus 4.5 and JAC minus 4.5. So I guess I'm a favorite this weekend.
Yeah. Jacksonville. I'm trying to go about this head-to-head, not picking one sport, but trying to go a college football bet, an NFL bet, and then a random sports bet. When the UCL is on, I do UCL. When the UCL isn't there and I see a good baseball one, I take baseball.
No, me too. That's how I like to do it as well. I like to spread out the wealth. I actually thought the UFC numbered card was this Saturday, that last Saturday, and I was just like, damn, I don't have enough slots to submit bets.
Right.
Because I was going to pick like an all Russian parlay or an all Brazilian parlay. It's not going to hit because the matchups are pretty fair, but I just think it's a fun way to bet it. I will say that I'm still waiting on my 3 cases money. I think the check is in the mail though.
Oh, Jesus.
or the voucher.
Hold on. Explain to the people this California inflation. Tell the people what you got, and then tell them how much it costs.
Yeah, I got 2 Coors Lights, 30 racks, as is customary, right? You got to have the Coors in the house, and then I got 28 High Noons, and I actually got a discount because I'm a member at Bevmo. But but it was $148.
For the people at the back, it was 103 cases. Was what? Actually, not even 3 cases. You had minus 2 beers, and you paid 140. Are you a member at a country club?
Look, I'm a member, but I'm still brown, dog. So I don't get full discount, bro.
What the fuck?
Uh,
I got that receipt. I honestly thought you bought 7 racks of high. I thought you bought 7, like 28 individual high noons, and I was like, I'm not paying this. I'm not paying 28 individual high noons. And then I looked at it. I was like, oh no, that's 7 cases of 4. That's a case minus 2. Could have got like you could have got like a high noon tall boy on top of that. Then it would have been $175. Gas. What's gas right now in Cali?
Dude, gas is like $6.20.
$6.20
for premium.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know how you're doing. I don't know how you're doing it.
I'm desperately trying to leave, so that's how I'm doing it.
$148.
Yeah, but if I would have got 3 Coors Lights cases, it would not have been that. But high noons are delicious.
Well, why didn't you do that? Well, you got
because it wasn't my money.
You got to watch your figure, of course.
Yeah. Also, high noons are delicious. I don't want 90 beers. I wanted some variety, dog.
Well, sucks to suck because it's my money. I should have bought you 3 cases and only paid $120.
American, dude. So speaking of prices, dog,
140 American.
Dude, that's my joke. It's my dad joke every time someone gives me a crazy number. We went to the Eagles-Rams game, Eric and I, on Sunday.
How was that?
SoFi Stadium is pretty tight, dude. Like, it's incredibly well lit because that whole roof is, I want to say glass, but maybe it's something not glass. It's transparent material.
Polyurethane.
Yeah, there you go. It's probably something more sturdy than glass because I can't imagine like you have one bad storm, that roof is going to break. It's off.
Remember when Minnesota had that snowstorm and the
roof collapsed?
The roofs almost collapsed on that guy riding the gator.
Dude, you imagine? And he probably had headphones in. He was just like, I'm in a big safe building. Like, I'm just doing my job. And the roof collapsed.
Could you imagine if he didn't even notice?
Bro, I mean, he would have been bonked in the head and dead. So it's not like it would have mattered. My guy's the reason why they built U.S. Bank, right?
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Let's go ahead and get into the NFL Week 5 slate. Oh, actually, let's just talk about MLB real quick. We kind of touched on it a little bit with Nick's shitty Matt Olson bet. But so the current playoff races in the division series are Houston leads Minnesota 2-1. Houston took the third game today. Houston also won the opener of the series, so it's been win alternating. So if you're a better, maybe Minnesota money line in Game 4 is a play. And if you're listening to this podcast, I hope you're better. If not, thank you for the support, anyways.
What are you? You're not a better, and you're not a family member. Thank you so much for listening. You enjoy us, huh?
Wow. Texas leads Baltimore 2-0. The journey is over. The ride's over. Baltimore is going to be eliminated. We all saw it coming, though.
Told ya.
We all saw it coming. Arizona leads the Dodgers 2-0. Look, if there's one thing we do, we fade playoff Dodgers, and we fade them all the time. So I will always bet against the Dodgers. I love the Diamondbacks. And they're playing red hot. Although we did not think the Diamondbacks would win the wild card, so that has been a fun journey to watch. I had the Phillies winning the Braves series, and they were about to take a 2-0 lead, stealing both games on the road. That Braves lineup has too much pop. They pulled Wheeler in the 7th, I believe. And Atlanta proceeds to score 5 straight runs unanswered, winning the game 5-4 versus Philadelphia. And there was a crazy web gem of a play by Michael Harris, correct?
Yeah, Michael Harris, and then Austin Riley actually threw Bryce Harper out.
So Michael Harris snagged an absolute warning track power baseball. If only that man went in the weight room. And Bryce Harper made an egregious base running blunder, which we have seen before. We have seen Bryce Harper do this before. He likes to be aggressive, and sometimes aggressive wins, and sometimes it doesn't.
Oh man, I don't necessarily agree with a blunder like that.
I'm not. I think he messed up. Yeah, I said it was an egregious.
No, I don't agree that it's egregious.
I
think he took a risk on a ball that doesn't get caught 55% of the time.
That's not a good enough. That's like barely a little more than 1 and 2. Like I don't know, man. I don't. You play to win, right? Like any other times he taking that run? Is he 10 out of 10 times he's running?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, especially a situation like that.
They deserve to lose then.
Because you're down to 2 outs in the 9th and a runner on first.
Yeah, and then you were down to no outs, and it's pretty essential to have at least one left, right, to win the ball game.
That is true.
Look, if he would have scored, it's a brilliant play, right? And so you have to live with the risk, right? And the Philadelphia Phillies clearly thought with a game in hand, right? That's the other thing.
You can afford to do that with a game in hand.
With a game in hand, you can afford to do that. I think it's a good risk as well. I'm a betting man. I think it's a good risk, but it was a pretty egregious base running error, right? Because it cost him the game.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh well, the Phillies are going to lose the series now.
I think the Phillies still lose the game regardless of whether. If Harper stays at first, I think the Phillies still lose the game.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
People are asking what we would have done if the Phillies would have won. Guess we'll never know. I guess what I'm saying is, me as a coach, I would not be upset at Bryce Harper doing that.
No, absolutely not. This is all hindsight, right? Like I said, if he would have made it to third, it's a no issue. If he would have made it home, it's a tie game. So you take the risk and you frame it from a game in hand. And I agree with all that. I'm just saying it was pretty embarrassing to get thrown out like that. It's a hell of a way to lose the ball game. Let's get into the NFL Week 5.
That's true. It is a hell of a way to lose the ball game.
Actually, hold on. Who do you got? You got Strohs taking the series?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Strohs, Rangers, Battle of Texas?
Yeah, and Houston wins that easily.
And Houston wins that easily? Okay. Yeah. Man, freaking Houston. Just a dynasty, bro. Yeah. Arizona, and so I'm assuming we're taking Arizona. You got a 2-0 lead. I think I'm taking Arizona.
I'm sticking to my Dodgers pick.
Really? They've been awful with runners and scoring.
I know, but I'm sticking with my Dodgers pick against all odds.
Their 2 starting pitchers have pitched a total of 2 innings.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I love seeing Clayton Kershaw get shelled in the playoffs. It is almost – it's like a holiday between Labor Day and like Thanksgiving for me. People are like October, between Labor Day and Halloween, I get to watch Kershaw get shelled in the playoffs, and that warms my balls.
So you think the Dodgers come back and win 3 straight? I
don't want to, Jermaine.
What are you don't have to though. What are the odds on that? Hold on, let's see. Can we find odds on the Dodgers to win it all?
Are these best of 5 series?
This is best of 5. So let's see.
Oh man, that best of 5 gets me.
Correct score, team futures, player awards. Oh no, I can't.
You can't.
Divisional round. Okay, so to win the series right now, you can get Dodgers at plus 450. Does that sway you?
You know what? I will. We haven't had one of these in a while. I want to lock in.
Oh, we're getting a lock on the books?
I want to lock in.
Oh, no.
Dodgers to win the series. Dodgers to win the divisional series.
LA Dodgers to win 2023 NLDS versus Arizona at plus 450. Ooh.
Put a note in there when down 0-2. They're down 0-2. This was made when they were down 0-2.
Bet placed down 0-2. Oh my goodness, baby boy!
I watched a video last night of Atlanta, and don't get me wrong, Atlanta and the excitement that Atlanta and Philadelphia are showing for the playoffs is like gives me chills, right?
The cities, right? The cities.
Oh, and the stadiums. I turned to the girlfriend sitting on the couch last night, and I said, I got to apologize, but if Colorado is ever in a playoff series again, I am going to spend untold amounts of money to be there.
You forewarned her of your terrible financial decision making.
You're going to be like, this is not. We could have children. It could be like kid eats or Nick goes to Rockies games. Sorry, kid. You got to learn to be disappointed.
Nick could be needing a chemotherapy treatment.
Oh, if it's me.
Yeah, dude, it can't be a kid because you're paying for the kid, dude.
if I'm the issue, it's like, Nick, you need a new kidney. I'm gonna go drink my old one in Colorado. Like it'll be fine.
I'll get my money's worth out of this kidney.
Right.
I'm not doing the damage to the next one.
Right.
All right, there it is. I'm gonna make a little note in here on the page as well. Nick made a lock. Wow, we ain't had a lock in a minute. Actually, I completely forgot that. I might have to start making some. As my boy, what's the dude's name from Barstool? He cracks me up. He's like he might be like a Jewish dude. He does the show with Big Cat. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Hank.
Is it Hank? He's always like yelling and moving his hands like real aggressively.
Hank, yeah. Hank Locklear, I think.
Yeah, bro, and he made a lock because he was going to the Monday Night Football game, Seahawks at Giants. And he said, I don't normally tell you this, but bet big. Giants spread, Giants money line, Giants all day long. And he's like, they're going to murder them. No Daniel Jones, no Saquon, no problem. And then they get smacked. I mean, the Seahawks defense put up, 31 fantasy points on them? Hank
Lockwood. Hank Lockwood.
Good for him. No wonder he's so into locks. Okay. That's his gimmick. If I had Lockwood as my last name, I would be riding that to the stratosphere. Good for him, but he's also bad. He also the week before bet Broncos against the Dolphins.
He's swinging and missing right now.
Speaking of NFL and games to bet on, let's go ahead and get into your top 2 takeaways from week 5.
Holy running back in week 5. I mean, I thought this position was washed up, Jermaine.
Zach Moss.
Yeah, did anybody tell Bryce Hall?
Bryce
Hall. Did anybody tell
Bryce is the cornerback who had the pick 6.
Well, I think Bryce Hall is an Instagram guy. Did anybody tell Bryce
No,
Hall?
Bryce Hall is a cornerback on the Jets who had the pick 6 against Russell Wilson. That's why I said that.
That's funny. So Bryce Hall, 177 yards. Zach Moss, 165 yards, 2 tutties. He said, JT who? Devon Achin sacrificed his Achilles?
I think it's a knee issue, so it's like MCL, if I'm not mistaken.
Sacrifices MCL for the brand, for the best. Is this the best 3 games we've ever? If his career ends, is this the best 3 games we've ever seen from?
No.
What if we only had an intern on this podcast? We could
Terrell Davis.
No, on best 3 games.
Yeah, in a row, Terrell Davis. I mean, his statistics. He had 3 years and made the Hall of Fame. I'm fond of that take. Yo, Terrell Davis had one of the craziest stretch of 30, 40 plus games. He's a menace, bro.
Yeah, David Montgomery had over 109 yards. Travis Etienne had 136. Yeah, I mean, just a crazy week for running backs, this supposedly dead position.
Bro, you know what? I didn't even I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize that. Let me see. I'm gonna go pull up the fantasy points from running backs this week. That's crazy, dude.
Insane, I'm sure.
So we'll use our dynasty board. So Travis Etienne had 136 rushing, 48 receiving, and 2 touchdowns, 38.4. Zach Moss had 165 rushing, 30 receiving, and 2 touchdowns. Breece Hall, not to be confused with Bryce Hall, had 177 rushing, 17 receiving, and 1 rushing touchdown. David Montgomery, 109 rushing, 20 receiving, 1 rushing touchdown. Devon Achane, 151 rushing, 14 receiving, 1 rushing touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 80 rushing, 17 receiving, 1 rushing touchdown. That's not as impressive. It gets kind of whack after that.
Yeah, but of those 4,
nobody had that. Like, that's not on anybody's bingo card.
No. Those 4 scored at least what? Hall had at least 23.
38.4, 37, 31.4, and 24.4.
Jesus Christ.
Could you imagine playing like 2 of those? I'd be so sad, bro.
You have both of them. My second thing is we make a big to-do about DJ Moore. 8 catches, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we should, right? DJ Moore, it is. This is not my takeaway, by the way. This is just a little mini rant that you get for free. The Panthers are complaining. This is the idiotic cycle of the Carolina Panthers. Trade DJ Moore away to get number 1 pick. Number 1 pick can't play like number 1 pick because wide receivers aren't getting separation. Go into wide receiver market to get star wide receiver. It's you had a guy in DJ Moore that could literally get out of bed, put socks on, and get 1,000 yards. Like, and he's showing it in Chicago. If you had to, I told you this in pre-show, so this won't be a fun little game that we could play. But DJ Moore had 230 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I watched that game and was blown away.
Where is he? DJ Moore. What am I looking at?
Okay.
Fields completed 52 yards. Actually, he threw to 3 wide receivers. Do you know this? 3 wide receivers caught passes from Justin Fields.
Well, that's because Darnell Mooney decided he forgot how to catch, bro.
Yeah. But Cole Kmet had 42 yards. So that means between all the other Chicago Bears wide receivers, DJ Moore was the only wide receiver to catch a ball.
That's funny, dude.
Cole Kmet and Robert Tonyan.
Yeah, Tanyan.
The tight ends accounted for 7 catches and 52 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore accounted for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So for those people that are putting this on Justin Fields, don't. Justin Fields completed just over 50% of his passes, and I get some of them are drops. I don't think it's time to say Justin Fields is back yet, or Justin Fields is arriving on the stage.
I mean, 282 and 4. I mean, like I said, Darnell Mooney had 3 of 4 probably hit him in the hands, and he didn't catch him, which based on the way they changed the rules for drops, aren't considered drops anymore because he did have to jump and twist. But you're a professional wide receiver, my man. You put up 1,000 yards receiving before. Like, how are you not catching these footballs? And they traded away Chase Claypool, so Equanimous St. Brown received a target in this football game. Khalil Herbert sacrificed his right knee and ankle on just an absurd underthrow, which I will say he missed him on that underthrow. But yeah, there's got to be some accountability on these dudes who the balls is hitting their hand and they're not getting it done. Because Darnell Mooney makes 2 of those catches. The completion percentage is infinitely better. On such a limited amount of throws, it's infinitely better.
I mean, maybe if he makes 3, let's see if he makes 3 catches. Come on, open up.
Why is my calculator app the app that takes the longest? He moves from 51% to 62%. Okay, well, that kind of defeats my fucking point.
I'm just presenting the counter argument. I agree with you. He balled out against the Denver Broncos and the Washington Commanders. We're not exactly writing love letters about their defense. You know what I mean? Both defensive coordinators people have legitimately asked if they should be fired or not. So let's keep it pushing.
If I mention the Steelers defense, is that going to ruin your takeaway?
Dude, the Steelers defense is not good.
It's not good?
No.
Then the Baltimore offensive line is trash.
Bro, Lamar Jackson owners have to be mad at every single wide receiver. How many
are they?
Wide open balls can they drop?
Are Lamar Jackson owners mad, Jermaine?
I know, that's why I brought it up like that. That's why I phrased it
fucking asshole.
Like that, because Nelson Aguilar, oh my God, a walk-in touchdown. Although we've seen Aguilar do it before, so I don't know why
that was not.
Let's go! The Blackhawks beat the Penguins. Let's go! Bedard's debut, and we get the old Dubsky against washed-up Sid the Kid.
They did chant "Fire Matt Canada" in the Pens arena, so that's pretty fucking funny.
That's hysterical. So let's get into my takeaways, and then we got to get into this betting slate because we're already at an hour. How are we more long-winded without Eric? So international games continue to be the bane of bettors' existence. I hope you've been listening to me when I point this out. Jacksonville was the dog. You always ride with the dog, whether it's spread or money line. Jacksonville was also there for 2 straight weeks, right? They got the dub against the Falcons, and then they got the dub against the Bills. Continue to ride the dogs, even though I think the Jaguars were favored against the Falcons. And then, my goodness, the New England Patriots might be one of the least talented football teams position to position that I have seen in this season. Let's just say this season. I don't want to say ever. But they don't have a wide receiver who can separate. They don't have tight ends who play big. Mike Gesicki. What's the point of being 6'5" if you're going to try to catch with T-Rex arms and jumping like with your legs kicked out sideways like you're kee-eyeing like a cheerleader? Their offensive line is abysmal. Ramondre Stevenson was a volume fantasy play that is getting crushed by the reemergence of the ghost of Ezekiel Elliott, who looks to be the most talented playmaker on that team.
Didn't you ask me 2 weeks ago why I didn't take a Ramon Stevenson trade?
No, a flyer on Ramondre Stevenson.
Right.
He's still going to put up numbers in fantasy.
I don't trust Patriots running backs.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't trust wide receivers or tight ends either, because my God. And then Mac Jones is going to get crushed for every single infraction. My man is out there literally trying to make plays with no one running wide open. It's brutal. They got shut out at home 34-0 against my team, the class of the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints. They must be introduced that way. It's in writing in the contract. Sorry, guys. But, bro, in the last 2 games, the Patriots have been outscored. What did they get outscored in week 4? They only scored 3. So Patriots, they lost to the Cowboys 38-3, right? So 72-3 in the last 2 games.
Yeah, it's not good.
And everyone is going to blame Mac Jones. And I'm like, granted, the quarterback has to make players better. That is true. They have to. But they got to also have somebody who can help them make other players better, right?
And Mac Jones is not the guy to completely dominate a game.
Mac Jones is very much a rhythm quarterback. He needs someone to be open to time those throws. Like, he tries to scramble and make plays, but the offensive line can't even buy him time to scramble. I was like, dude, you got to be able to do one or the other. Like, if you're going to let them get up the field and be in his face, you got to be able to let him escape to buy time. They can't do it. It's brutal. And I honestly think we should be making the Patriots our odds-on favorite to get the Caleb Williams sweepstake.
Where does Mac Jones go if they get that?
I don't know, dude, to back up somebody somewhere. Right?
Because you get the Baker Mayfield treatment.
I think he eventually gets a shot for sure. I really do, because everyone who drafted that high eventually gets a shot. I mean, Marcus Mariota, for Christ's sakes, got a shot last year.
Marcus Mariota. Talk about a guy who's gotten shot after shot.
Bro, dude, that's what I'm saying. Tim Tebow got shots, right? Even when the league was trying to get rid of him. I think the only one you could say hasn't got a shot is Colin Kaepernick.
He shouldn't have fucking kneeled on the football field. That's a joke, everybody, by the way.
They're going to jump down your throat regardless. That's so funny. It's so funny. Let's get into the betting slate.
The Rangers have swept the Orioles, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
this again.
Hell of a season.
Let me just real quick rant. Giving teams buys in baseball is not good.
It's not, dude.
I would purposely lose my last, I would purposely get swept in my last two series just to not have a bye.
Yeah, so we have talked about this ad nauseum. It's the kiss of death, dude.
You can't wait 5 days in baseball. Do you know how fast 102 looks when you're waiting 24 hours?
No, I do not. There's a reason why I have this podcast instead of playing playoff baseball.
Believe me, I've seen 92 after I faced 92 the day before, and I still couldn't hit it. Now add 10 more miles per hour to that.
That's funny. So Nick's Nuggets and bets Nick took last week were 3-9. Not good. His Nuggets are not off to a good start.
The Nuggets are not good right now. So I think and this is going to be the week that they come back in because I'm starting a new strategy. Jermaine.
Oh no. So I went 5-8 and Eric went 0-3 with the ultimate petty fade of his Dallas money line. So I don't think he even cares that he went 0-3. So let's go ahead and get into it, Nick.
I think we're going to start. I think we're going to start fading the Nuggets.
I think that's smart, dude. I was saying that a few weeks ago. I was like, dude, these aren't hitting, my man.
So week 6, we get to see how teams coming off the bye and their coaches do. So 4 teams coming off the bye: the Browns, the Chargers, the Seahawks, and the Buccaneers. We'll start with the Cleveland Browns. So since 2020, under Kevin Stefanski, the Cleveland Browns are 2-1 straight up and 0-3 against the spread. The Chargers under Brian Staley, 1-1 straight up and against the spread. Not really any action there. Since 2010, the Seattle Seahawks under Pete Carroll, 9-6 straight up, 7-1 against the spread. Basically what that means, if a team is good straight up and not good against the spread, it means if they're favorites, bet them to win, but don't bet them to cover. I don't believe the Browns are favorites, right, Jermaine?
So the Browns are dogs against San Francisco at home.
They are dogs. And then the Seahawks are dogs against the Bengals. The final team that I named, and the one Knicks Nugget I will take is Todd Bowles. Was the Tampa Bay coach since last season, so obviously we can't use his experience as Tampa Bay. But with Miami in 2011 and the Jets from 2015 to 2018, Jermaine, Todd Bowles was 1-5 straight up and 2-4 against the spread off the bye week. So give me Detroit -3 on that.
All right, Detroit -3 is locked in.
There are no East Coast teams traveling to the West Coast in prime time. There are 2 West Coast teams traveling to the East Coast early. Cincinnati will travel into Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a 3-point favorite, right, Jermaine?
Cincinnati is, yes, 3-point favorites against Seattle.
And then San Francisco will travel into Cleveland. San Francisco is a 5.5-point favorite.
That's correct.
West Coast teams traveling to the East Coast this year are 3-2 straight up, 2-3 against the spread. Until we find something there, man, I'm not betting this anymore. I'm not betting this right now until it gives me one side of the action or the other. So moving on to teams scoring less than 10 points the previous week. So we actually have some things here that we can bet, luckily enough, in Knicks Nuggets. So
so far on the year, favorites when scoring less than 10 points the previous week, they're 1-4 against the spread. That's a rate of 20%. And dogs, when scoring less than 10 points, and dogs of less than 10 the next week, they're actually 7-4-2. Jermaine, 7-4-2. That's a clip of 63%. So we have 3 teams that scored less than 10 points.
10 or less, correct? So they
10,
can score
10 or less.
Okay.
Right? Green Bay scored 10 or less as well, but they're on a bye week. New England is the first team. New England is playing at the Las Vegas Raiders. They are a 3-point dog. Baltimore is the other team. They scored.
Are you taking New England?
Yes, I am taking New England +3.
Okay.
The Baltimore Ravens are a 4-point favorite, 4.5.
They're -2.5. Wait, hold on. Sorry, that's next week.
I got it 4.
Whoops. 4 and they're -4.5. -4.5.
So Baltimore scored less. They're -4.5 traveling into the Titans. I'm going to bet Titans +4.5.
So you're gonna keep riding the Tennessee train, huh? Tennessee +4.5. All right.
Yep. Keep riding the Tennessee train. And then Dallas. Dallas also scored less than 10 weeks. They are favorites at the Chargers. Monday Night Football. They are 2-point favorites of the Chargers. Give me Chargers money line.
LAC money line is +110. All right. Anything else you're taking this week? Maybe not just Nuggets. If you feel anything in your plums and your stones.
There's a couple of other Nuggets right now. So what we're going to reverse bet here. When the spread is greater than 9.5, we take the under. If you were to take the under this year, you'd be 3-8. That's a 27% clip. There's 3 games right now where the spread is over 9.5. There's the Denver KC game. That over under is 48. I'm going to blast that over 48. I think the Chiefs could probably hit that by themselves.
They probably will. All right.
Carolina-Miami. The Carolina-Miami game right now is 48.5. Give me the over 48.5. And New York-Buffalo. Give me the over. I got it at 46.5. Right now it is New York and Buffalo 44.5. So smash the over on that.
Cross the line.
44.5. We love that. We normally fade the favorites in this matchup. Fade the favorites against the spread in this matchup. That is actually 6-5. Favorites are 6-5 against the spread and 8-3 straight up. So I'll build a favorites parlay at the end, but I'm not going to take any one of those games. A couple of division games to talk about, at least ones that I found interesting, or nuggets from the divisional games. Denver plays into KC. Denver is 0-5 in their last 5. Remember, there's that stat that Patrick Mahomes has never lost to the Broncos in his career, either home or away. Funny enough, Denver has not won in KC since 2015. Denver has not scored more than 24 points in the last 5. And KC has not scored less than 22. So just by that alone, and KC, by the way, is scoring 28 points this year, 28 points per game this year. So just by that alone, that adds, even if Denver scores 20 points and KC scores 28, that's looking pretty good for your over-under. In the Minnesota-Chicago game, Minnesota travels into Chicago. Minnesota has won 3 of the last 5 in Chicago. This total has actually has not been over 48 points in Chicago since 2013. Right now, the over-under is 44.5. Maybe not something to bet there. I was able to bet it when it opened. I'm doing a little bit of research here, just to take a side note. And the metrics that come back are staggering for opening lines versus closing lines. All right, so I'm just going to read you some umbrella stats. For the opening lines, I've started taking this after week 4. For bets, I'm taking on the opening line, which is lines that drop either Sunday night or Monday morning. Right, those are considered the opening lines. The bets that I've taken between spread, money line, and over under, I'm 22-12 on opening line bets. That's a rate of 64.7% for 7.8 units. On the closing line, I'm 9-15-1. That's 36% minus 6.8 units. It is imperative that you take, if you see a bet you like, you take it early in the week, right?
Or fade yourself later.
Or fade yourself.
Hey. Kane is just excited. He's excited for all of Nick's Nuggets.
He's dreaming. So one last let's see here. One last Knicks Nugget. We love divisional games. I feel like the AFC South is playing a divisional game every single week. Indianapolis travels into Jacksonville. Indianapolis has not won the last 5 games in Jacksonville. Remember that was back in Urban Meyer Jacksonville when Jacksonville was bad. They've not won in Jacksonville since 2014. Jacksonville in 7 of the last 8 has scored over 24 points.
What's the bet there?
Take Jacksonville team total over 24 if you can get it. I don't know if the team total is. I don't think DraftKings posts their team totals until later in the week.
Oh, okay.
They might have it now. They have everything up there. But look for the Jacksonville team total over
24.5?
24.5.
Jacksonville team total over 24.5.
Yep.
Minus 108.
Right.
All right.
And then if you can find it pretty low, I mean, Denver is scoring 18 points per game this year. If you can find Denver team total under 24 and KC team total under 22, that should start your Thursday night out pretty well. Other bets I'm taking that aren't Knicks Nuggets. I want the Baltimore Tennessee game under 40 and under 40 and a half is what I got it at. It might be different right now.
All right, 1 second. So Denver team total is over 17.5.
Okay, so not a lot of thing there. What's KC's team total?
29.5.
Yeah, so nothing there. Okay.
And then you're going KC, Baltimore. You wanted
Baltimore. Let's go under 40 and a half. It's listed right there.
Under 40.5 minus 115. All right. Oh, I should put the teams on.
I want give me Atlanta Falcons money line.
Oh, how much does that hurt you?
It hurts me a lot. Give me Saints.
Hell yeah.
Under 40 and a half or whatever the Saints game is at. What is the Saints game at? 42. Yep. Under 42 and a half. Give that to me. Yum. Falcons money line is minus 148 right now. Give me what's the Cardinals over under right now, Jermaine?
Cardinals are playing the Rams 48.5.
48.5. Okay, give me under 48.5 for the Rams Cardinals. And then if you would please, good sir, I'm going to build a favorites parlay. Let me know how much it is.
Yeah, give me 1 second to put those in. So New Orleans is playing. Boy, did I miss that? New Orleans. Yeah, well, there you go. Appreciate it. Houston. All right, so I have Baltimore, Tennessee under 40.5, minus 115. Atlanta money line minus 148. New Orleans, Houston under 42.5. And that was, I didn't get the odds on that either. Minus 112. And the Rams, Arizona under 48.5 is minus 110. All right, so for the favorites parlay, let's go ahead and ride. Who are you taking?
Let's get KC.
Okay.
Let's get Miami.
All right.
Let's get Jacksonville.
Okay.
Let's get Buffalo.
Down at the bottom. Okay.
Let's get Cincinnati.
All right.
Let's get Detroit.
All right.
San Francisco.
Oh, we going big. San Francisco was up here.
And Atlanta to finish it out. What does that pay me?
Buku bucks.
That, by the way, should be a 18 parlay.
Plus 1278, 8-legger.
Love it.
All right, so give me the teams one more time. So Kansas City, Atlanta, San Francisco, Detroit, Buffalo.
All favorites, by the way.
Jacksonville, So Atlanta, San Francisco, Detroit, Cincinnati, and Miami.
Yep. All favorites on the way. 18 parlay.
Plus 1278.
Send me a $5 when you guys win.
The odds of that hitting is plus 1278.
Right. That's the exact odds that it will hit. Jermaine, what do you have? What do you have for this slate?
Oh boy, I haven't really looked at this slate, so I do agree with the Kansas City money line, not betting it. A part of me really wants to bet Denver plus 10.5, just because I'm a narcissist, just a masochist, not a narcissist. But
you are a narcissist, but not in this context.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to take Tennessee money line.
Yeah, it's got to hit eventually.
Tennessee money line. I don't like what I'm seeing from Baltimore, and I don't think that Tennessee's going to come out that flat again. Zach Moss. This is the Zach Moss revenge game, so plus 160. I'll take Tennessee. Oh boy, part of me really wants to bet Cleveland, just because I'm crazy like that. So give me Cleveland plus 5.5, minus 110. And Bears money line. So I'll take Chicago money line plus 114. This is what I like to call the Justin Jefferson fade. Seattle coming off a bye. I'll take Seattle money line plus 136. I don't have faith in Cincinnati. Everyone's like, Cincinnati looks good, but they played the Cardinals. Let's pump the brake there, ladies and gentlemen. So the New Orleans Saints scored 34 points, but they played the hapless New England Patriots. Do they follow it up is an interesting question. I don't want any action on that, but got to spotlight my team. So Washington Commanders.
That's kind of crazy. That line doesn't even seem like it's factoring in Houston getting blown out by the Commanders.
Houston didn't play the Commanders. Chicago played the Commanders.
Oh, right.
Houston lost to – who'd they lose to? The Falcons? Yeah, they lost to the Falcons, 21-19. Wow. Dude, I'm taking New England money line at plus 130. I know it's crazy. I just called them the most untalented team, but the Raiders tried their damnedest to lose to Jordan Love. So
these things do have a way of coming back to bite you in the ass a week later. So normally when you say this team is dead and this team is awful, they normally respond with like a 40-point affair.
Yeah, exactly. It's October, so it's not September. I can't ride my customary home dog Florida team, although Tampa Bay Buccaneers money line at plus 136 is incredibly enticing. Arizona Cardinals, I'm going to take Arizona money line plus 260. Fading the Rams after that Eagles game. And then Giants, Bills, I'm staying away from. And I'll take, last but not least, I'll take Los Angeles Chargers money line plus 110. Riding the dogs this week. Riding the dogs. There's a lot of great over-unders, a lot of the ones that Nick touched on you should definitely look into. And now that you're into the week 6 and on, betting team totals is something that I would highly advise you looking into. The New Orleans Saints is a favorite of mine right now. They're averaging 15.5 points per game offensively heading into their week 5 matchup with New England. And you can kind of just treat New England right now with the subtractions of Matthew Judon and Christian Gonzalez to what looks like season-ending injuries as a get-right game for most teams, except for the Las Vegas Raiders, because the Raiders will raid. I mean, Jordan Love played horrendously. Any ball that was thrown 5 yards downfield or more, Jordan Love was horrendous on.
I think 1 for 7 with 3 interceptions.
Yeah, I think we have the stat right here. Let me see if I can't just pull that up real quick. 3 of 11, 3 interceptions, minus 0.78 expected points added per attempt.
Love it.
Yeah, and then on his 2-week total, right? So if you're going based on the last 2 weeks, he's 14 of 32, 5 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, minus 0.41 expected points added per attempt.
Definitely love that.
Yeah. So if you weren't sure, the Atlanta Falcons went out and added some depth to their wide receivers. They traded for Van Jefferson of the Los Angeles Rams. So Desmond orders favorite targets in order now. Now we had to do a little shifting around after the trade. It's Jonnu Smith, Van Jefferson, Matt Collins, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Cordero Patterson, opposing team secondary, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts.
I think we did leave one off that. What about Rosie?
Rosie, well done, sir. Rosie the Riveter. And then so for Eric's not here, but in the spirit of Eric, we'll give him Eagles money line.
He gets Jets money line.
He gets Jets money line.
That way, if his team loses, he gets a little bit of cheddar.
All right, so he'll take Jets money line at plus 230. I almost put minus 285. You imagine if they were favorites like that?
You know what? I want Jets money line as well. I'm going to start betting against the Eagles. Betting against the defeat the Eagles.
Defeat the Eagles. Would you also like to take Browns money line?
No.
To fade the 49ers?
No.
Coming off a bye?
Until Bryce Purdy scores less than 30 points, I'm not betting against the 49ers.
Dude, why is everyone's first name Bryce with you?
Bryce Purdy.
All right, so Brock Purdy. Eric would also like to take Denver plus 10.5.
Yeah. I think he wants to take Carolina plus 13.5.
All right, Carolina plus 13.5. We'll round out his favorite picks of the week at minus. Dude, the fact that they're not just giving it to them at even money, like minus 112, you're being a bunch of dicks.
What are you guys doing?
Got anything else for the 10s and 10s, Nick?
Nothing for me.
All right. Thank you for stopping by. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Podcast Room303. I've been your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This has been my co-host, Nicholas Moorhan. And as always, we have with us the EPE, not